Hey, what up, everybody? It's your boy Anthony. It is 3:36 in the morning. For those of you who don't know, like I have a problem like sleeping and staying asleep. So if you have any remedies for that, like put in the comments down. I think it's down below. Yeah, it's down below. Anyway, I want to talk about a video that's going viral now. Like I didn't think that it would blow up as much as it did, and I'm kind of disgusted, if you will, by it. The video, I'll post a link down here, is if you don't know, Dion and I, well, I'll just say I live in South Carolina now, in Fort Mill, South Carolina. It literally borders like North Carolina, like Charlotte area. So, like, if I literally go like three stoplights down, I think maybe even four, I'm technically in Charlotte. So, this past weekend was the North Carolina awards ball, and they had another ball. The awards ball was on Saturday, and they had another ball on Sunday. Well, me, I used to be in the house, so I know I know the good side and the bad side of the ballroom scene. But Dion has never really like been to a big ball, so I wanted to take him and like so he can see the sex sirens, so he can see the people performing. And I'd never heard anything bad about of anything going on at a North Carolina ball, so I was like, okay, let's go. So I wanted it to be a good experience. So we got a table. The table was, I think it was $200. It was at Victory Lanes. So we get to the ball. For once, the ball actually started on time. It started at 12 o'clock. Jack and Selvin were there. For those of you who know Jack and Selvin, we walk around looking for our table, and we find our table. Pretty good table. It sat. The stage was elevated. The table was like right there, like maybe it was two tables down from the judges. So we had a very, very, very good view of everything. So as everyone comes in, we have the Mugglers that sit on one side of us, and we have the Khans that I later found out I didn't know who they were, sitting on the right hand side of us. So the ball goes on, and as the ball goes on, now it's a 10 table seat, but just I mean 10 seat table. Sorry, am I saying that right? 10 people can sit at the table. 10 people can sit at the table. However, it's only Dion and myself sitting at the table because we're the only ones that came. And me, it's like I don't care who's at the table. Like if it's one person sitting at the table, if nobody sits at the table, if you did not pay for that table, do not sit at that table. So, Dion and I were watching the ball, video recording some things. So on the ball, on the table as a centerpiece, they had like this big ass thing made out of like with boxes of candy. It's like a big ass centerpiece, if you will, made out of balloons and candy. So they were doing Vogue Femme. So when Vogue Femme came along, like the House of Kong, like stood on top of some of our chairs to root for their house. Now at that time, I didn't mind it because, like I said, you're rooting for your house. Okay, go in for your house, but of course, when they get done, get down and get by your way. So after they get done voguing, like they're just standing there, just rooting, just like parlaying at our table. And I'm sitting here like, okay, should I say something? I said, okay, you know what? I don't want to get into it with anybody. So they had security there. So I called security, and I was like, hey, we didn't mind them, rooting for their house, their family, or whatnot, whatever. But could you come over there and ask them to move because I don't want anything to start. Like I don't know, those type of people, but we all know how the ball kids can be, and sometimes they can be classy, but for the most part, they always have a chip on their shoulder and want to go off. So like I said, I didn't want to chance it, so I said, okay, I'm just going to ask security to do it. So by the time I had came back, I left Dion at the table. So when I come back, I see Dion grab a centerpiece off the other table and put it on ours, and like back on ours, and like the other dude was like saying something to him, and another dude was saying something to him. So I ran over there and I'm like, what the hell is going on? What had happened was, I guess I don't know what had gone on, but one of the guys that was standing on one of the chairs took our centerpiece and put it on his house's table. So when Dion went over there and grabbed the centerpiece back to put it on our table, they decided that they wanted to try to get in his face as if he had done something wrong. And we're like, girl, like, no shade. Like, I'm not an advocate for fighting. I don't fight. I will protect myself. But at the same point in time, it's like, you were wrong. So, sorry, I was eating something that was stuck on my tooth. But so like they're trying to like get at us, and so security like calms them down and like takes them and tells them they have to leave or go in the back or something like that. And so Dion and I are sitting there. But anyway, I said that to say this: like, balls are so like what's the word I can say? They're so. I couldn't even think of a bad enough word. They're not how they're supposed to be. Like, they're fucking horrible. Like something that's supposed to be so great. Like you can do you realize the talent and things that people have serving face so you're beautiful. You're walking runway. You've created this sick gown. You can vogue. You can do all this. And all people concentrate on is fighting. Deanna and I ended up leaving that ball before it even ended. And I'm thank God we did because at the end of that ball there was a big ass fight. Now moving forward, Saturday there was another ball that we did not go to because we just said we're just not going to another. Well, Deion said he's not going to another ball in North Carolina. I don't blame him. Saturday, there's a video that comes out. Well, Sunday, with tables flying at a ball, like people are throwing tables, people are throwing chairs, and my question is for what? Like we as black gay African American whatever the LGBT, like we act an ass, we show our asses, act a plumb fool, and then wonder why nobody wants to give you respect, and then wonder why nobody wants to take you seriously because of shit like this. Like, yes, there's plenty of ball tapes where they aren't throwing chairs, but why does it even need to come to throwing a chair? Okay, first of all, watch Paris is Burning. The ballroom is supposed to be shady. That's what it is. So knowing that going in, why would you be upset? Why would you get mad if they chop you? That's what they're supposed to do. Watch it. Would you like me to post the clip? Like, people don't understand that. And then one thing else that I don't get is all this ballroom scenes that holds no weight outside of the ball. No weight whatsoever. I'm mother this, I'm father that. No, you're not. Blaze Ultra Omni. Outside the ballroom scene, Byron Crowford. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't get it. It bothers the hell out of me. Like, we as gay people are so quick to say that they're judging me or they're being shady to me or they don't get me or whatnot, whatever. It's like, look at how you present yourself. Another guy went and got an axe. Are we savages? Like, really? Whatever happened to back in the day, the 80s, 90s, you would fight. Like, if something happened, one person, two people would fight. I'm not an advocate for fight, but I'd rather you guys just duke it out, you two, than a whole big ass brawl and people are getting guns and knives and then you're putting everybody's life in danger. Not to mention, you can't even have the ball at the same place. Think about this. I sponsor a ball. I get a good venue. We'll say a venue, $2,000. I put, $2,000 into decorations, tables, chairs, whatnot, whatever. Jack and Selvin, another $2,000. So that's $6,000 I've invested. Vaughn and Lure, another $1,000. So that's $7,000 I've invested. You guys pop off in a fight at the very beginning of a ball and shut it down. That's $7,000 down the drain. You all don't even think about that. We don't even think about that. It's all about the moment. And it's something so minute that you could have just passed it off. Oh, I'm sickening and I'm mother this and I'm father that. No, you're not. Because if you're a mother or a father, you know how to let shit go. To show your kids or your children how the fuck it's supposed to be. You pick and choose your battles. You pick and choose your fights. No matter how many times somebody shades you, no matter how many times somebody cusses you out, no matter how many times you keep your cool and bring it to the runway. Like what? Oh, I'm fighting you. I'm fighting. Excuse me. I'm fighting you. I'm fighting you. No. Keep that shit and bring it to the runway. The ultimate shade is letting that same person that cursed you out, tried to whoop your ass, have it on the runway and winning over them in their entire house all the time. Every time. I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts. I'll post a link down at the bottom. This is Anthony, and I'm out.